Okay, my name's Doug. Myself and my friend Brian have decided to do a follow-up to yesterday's video about Tent City. And along the way, we want to address a few comments that were made on the original video. Up front, foremost, and most importantly, although I've never had to stay here, I've been in this situation. I know what it's like. I made a decision 19 years ago that still haunts me today. Everything blew up in my face. However, along the way, things happened that I didn't ask for. And it made my situation worse, including injury, including a serious illness, including organizations that have let me down. So yes, it goes deep in what you think. So let's get right down to the heart of the matter. Here's the first tent right here. As you can see, nobody's been here for quite a while. Everything in here is wet, unorganized, and just thrown around. So there's one myth quelled. And it should be noted that the original tent city was in fact closer to the river. It migrated this direction to a small extent. There used to be a tent right over there. It's no longer there. But as you can see, it's a mess down here. But it is deserted. It is deserted, as I'm trying to show you. Went to broken glass right here. As said in the first video, this particular tent right here, I know the guy who stayed here. He is a very good friend of mine. Very good person. Everything's gone out of that tent. I'm not even going to get into it. There's nothing there. It should also be noted that many churches and organizations would come down and visit Tent City and bring the tenants, the people living there, items to live. Basic living items, including food, including utensils, including gas and stuff like that to help people live, including all that stuff. Here's another tent right here. Let's take a look inside this tent. Again, as you can see, nobody living here. It's storage. Okay? This tent right over here. Rest in peace, Jerry. The gentleman who lived here was killed recently. And it didn't even happen here. He was killed at another location that was in public, and he was killed by a homeless person. Didn't happen here. Again, a lot of stuff here. All people want to do is try to live the best life they can, the only way they can. Nobody's out here to create trouble for anybody. I know of 2 people that used to stay here that got murdered down here by other people. Most of the people that stayed here were very decent people. They stayed out of everybody's way. They stayed away from society. They didn't bother anybody. They weren't criminals. All they wanted was just to live. Like I said, I've never stayed here myself, but I've been in that situation. I know what it feels like. So until you've been in that situation, or until you know the facts, please don't assume anything, that people down here are dangerous, or that people still stay here. Please don't assume any of that, because when you assume something, you make an ass out of you and me. Nobody has stayed here for well over a year, except for the occasional here and there, nightly here, nightly there. And that's really weather dependent and situation dependent. A lot of people that used to stay here or in the areas down by the river had to stay there because society turned their back on them. Society's turned their back on me. Yeah, like I said, I made some poor decisions. But this is 19 years later. I'm doing my best to get back on my feet. It's not easy. I've had things happen to me since then. So, yes. If the world would stop complaining about people that are homeless and hurting and just want a life, and people turned it around and start helping people that are in this situation, the world will be a much better place. But instead, they want to ridicule people that are in a situation like this without knowing their reason that they're in this situation. They just want to assume things, and they want to say, oh, people down here are dangerous. You know what? Like I said, nobody has lived here for well over a year. Most of the people have moved away. Some of the people are dead. Some of the people have just changed locations. Um, it's sad. It's sad that society has come down to this. Okay? Rockford is not the only place that has a place like this. It's in almost every single city. So, but this is what's left of Tent City, Rockford. Thanks.